Hello, welcome to Labor and Work podcast from the KMC Center at Auckland University in Michigan. I'm your host, Sufeng Zhuang, Director of the KMC Center and Associate Professor of Organizational Leadership Department at Auckland University. Thank you for joining us. Each episode, we chat with industry professionals to share insights, trends, and action strategies to promote positive labor relations in an era of rapid social change. In this episode, we are discussing responding to current workforce challenges. Joining us today, our guest is Michele Oreste. Michele is the Executive Director for Workforce Intelligence Network, also known as WIN. She has a rich experience in developing data-driven regional workforce strategies and writing grant proposals resulting in approximately $145 million of workforce training and supportive service funding to the Southeast Michigan region. Her leadership and influence on the Michigan workforce are exceptional. She also serves on the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments Legislative Policy Task Force and Economic Development Task Force, Auckland 80 Leadership Team, and Wayne County College Access Network Leadership Team. Welcome, Michele. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be with you.
I'm so excited to chat with you today because I've heard so much wonderful things about Wing. Before we get into our topic, can you please first briefly talk about Wing? What is Wing and what does it do for the Southeast Michigan workforce?
Thank you. Yes, the Workforce Intelligence Network, known as WIN, is sponsored by the Southeast Michigan Community Alliance, SEMCA, and it was established in 2011 by local community college presidents and Michigan Works agency leaders. WIN includes 9 colleges and 7 workforce agencies and represents about 64% of the Michigan's labor force. Since its establishment, WIN has been instrumental in securing over $294 million in grant funding for Southeast Michigan. These resources have enabled WIN community colleges and Michigan Works agencies to work collaboratively in providing targeted education and training solutions that address employer needs. The WIN mission is to cultivate a cohesive talent system by facilitating data-driven workforce solutions to ensure responsiveness to changing labor market demands. WIN operates on 3 pillars: labor market intelligence, employer-led collaboratives, and regional workforce training initiatives. WIN recognizes the significance of regional workforce strategies, registered apprenticeship programs, and data-driven approaches to connecting education with industry needs. In 2024, WIN Partners provided support to nearly 12,000 individuals through wraparound supportive services, apprenticeship, and education and training opportunities that lead to employment. WIN currently collaborates with over 640 employers for apprenticeship and employer-led collaboratives. In terms of labor market intelligence, WIN develops quarterly and annual labor market reports for the WIN 19 county Southeast Michigan region, which can be found at winintelligence.org. Plus, WIN economic research analysts develop and publish special studies. This year, WIN has been contracted to provide data and research reports for a hydrogen social network analysis ecosystem mapping study for the Michigan and Ohio region, Macomb Community College IT skills needs assessment and artificial intelligence impact assessment, and career profiles for a local healthcare alliance and intermediate school districts. Wynn recently published the Michigan Workforce Career and Resource Guide, which has been cited as one of the best and duplicated by other states across the country. This guide is used by Michigan Works career planners working with job seekers and community college counselors working with students, and also can be found on winintelligence.org website. Wynn has led multiple statewide and regional employer-led collaboratives supporting Michigan's transition to electric and connected vehicle technologies, including the EV Jobs Academy, which was recognized in a 2024 press release by the White House team, Advanced Michigan Center for Apprenticeship Innovation, AMCI, and the Michigan Alliance for Greater Mobility Advancement, MAGMA. Wynn convenes the Health Careers Alliance with nearly every major healthcare system statewide to develop apprenticeship programs for high demand occupations. In terms of regional workforce initiative, Wynn partners have a track record of meeting and exceeding all program deliverables, and the U.S. Department of Labor has recognized Wynn as one of the top workforce collaboratives in the nation for exceeding performance outcomes on several federal grant-funded regional training initiatives.
Wow, that is such a record. This is so interesting to learn how Wayne's initiatives connect the industry, government, and education all working together to make an impact on Michigan labor force and the society overall. This is great. So the labor and work today are going through changes rapidly. In the past 2 decades, we have experienced such as Industry 4.0, the COVID-19 pandemic, and AI and machine learning technology breakthrough that have significantly impacted and changed the way we work, our value of work, the workforce landscape, and the work structure. It is changing so fast that sometimes kind of made me wonder that are we catching up quickly enough to respond and address the changes? So my first question for you is, what are the major changes facing the American workforce today?
The main challenge is the talent gap. When analysts use Lightcast real-time job posting data to understand where the talent gaps exist and seek foundation support for an updated 5-year skills gap analysis. We're in the process of that since the last 2019 to 2024 skills gap projection was done, and it estimated a shortage of 811,055 skilled workers, causing an estimated $49 billion of lost wages to the annual Michigan economy. The largest skills gaps were in information technology at approximately 270,000, followed by an estimated 212,000 in healthcare and 109,000 in manufacturing. The balance are in sectors such as hospitality, business, finance, and so forth. But our skills gap projection involves comparing real-time job postings against post-secondary degree and certification completers. And that's how we essentially estimated that 811,055 skills gap. And that was really looked at as the North Star for the workforce system across Southeast Michigan. We're all targeting that 811,055 skills gap over the last 5-year period. So we hope to obtain some foundation funding to do an updated 5-year skills gap analysis. And you mentioned Industry 4.0. So, some of those $145 million of grants that we received since the coronavirus, one was the Industry Infinity Grant, which was one of only three $10 million awards in the country. And it was targeted at three of the eight Industry 4.0 pillars. And we've rocked that out. That will end at the end of this year, next month. With that grant, we promised training 850 individuals. We've served over 2,000, about 90% of those being underemployed, unemployed individuals. So the other challenge is a declining population. And the Center for Data and Analytics 2025 study anticipates a statewide population decline of approximately 206,000 residents between 2025 and 2050. The Southeast Michigan Council of Governments also publishes similar studies and has about the same projections. This projected decrease is primarily attributed to demographic shifts characterized by an aging population and a trend toward smaller family sizes, which collectively results in a reduced number of working age individuals entering the labor force. Now, technological advancements in underemployment are two additional challenges which WIN regional training initiatives seek to address. Technological advancement is occurring at such a rapid pace that higher education institutions are challenged to more frequently update curriculum for emerging skills. And underemployment is in reference to individuals lacking opportunities for advancement despite reliable income.
Very good point. Thank you for sharing. So, with the challenges of talent gap, decline population in Michigan, and technology unemployment, what are the possible solutions for organizations to overcome the challenges?
Thank you for asking. Employer-led collaboratives that WIN has been convening for many, many years involves bringing together representatives from industry, academia, government, nonprofit organizations, community-based organizations, and other stakeholder partners to ensure education and training programs keep pace with technological advancement. Since 2013, WIN has been convening the Michigan Alliance for Greater Mobility Advancement, MAGMA, governing board, employer-led collaborative, which is comprised of 5 automotive OEMs, 5 suppliers, and 11 stakeholder partners. MAGMA led the WIN EV Jobs Academy, which I mentioned was recognized by the White House team, but also resulted in additional funding to the state of Michigan to form an EV workforce hub with an extra $100 million. The EV Jobs Academy was a complex strategy with 8 working collaboratives and project teams and over 178 employer and stakeholder partners in participation. And actually, I delivered presentations across the country, invited by the U.S. Department of Labor as a keynote speaker to assist other states across the country to duplicate the EV Jobs Academy employer-led collaborative initiative. WIN also convenes the Health Careers Alliance, and it's an employer-led collaborative that launched in 2019 with funding from the state of Michigan through the Michigan Industry Cluster Approach, MICA grant. And soon after, the Michigan Rural Enhanced Access to Careers in Healthcare, MyReach, and the Michigan Learning Education and Advancement Program, MyLeap, and U.S. Department of Labor Apprenticeship Building America grants. You can see that we use a lot of braided funding to sustain employer-led collaboratives through state, federal, and actually our Michigan Works agencies seeded the Health Careers Alliance with over $100,000. Upon the launch of the HCA, or Health Careers Alliance, in 2019, employers identified and formed work teams for 3 high-demand occupations of medical assistant, sterile processing, and certified nurse aides. In general, WIN has experienced a long and difficult history of gaining non-traditional sector employer participation in apprenticeship. But apprenticeship really keeps pace with technological advancement, so it's so important. Non-traditional sectors apply to all non-manufacturing industries. In 2022, Wynn hired Dr. Janice Karazum, a former college dean, to convene the Health Careers Alliance shortly after the coronavirus shutdown. And she was the shot in the arm it needed. Jan's career history involves working with healthcare systems and deans from colleges across the state, which enabled a sudden increase in participation in the Health Careers Alliance, which currently convenes 39 major healthcare systems statewide, which is co-convened with the State of Michigan Labor and Economic Opportunity, known as LEO. The healthcare organizations are dedicated to executing innovative and collaborative solutions that address both immediate and future workforce needs. Health Careers Alliance member employers range from large hospital systems to small rural hospitals, as well as clinics and centers offering outpatient diagnosis, treatment, and care for medical, mental, and behavioral health. Health Careers Alliance HR professionals are responsible for attraction and retention of clinical workforce. 2 years ago, this results oriented, employer led collaborative developed and obtained the first pre licensure registered nurse U.S. Department of Labor signed register apprenticeship standards in the country and has since developed register apprenticeship standards for anesthesiologist technician, surgical technicians, medical lab technicians, and many other high demand occupations. These apprenticeship programs allow healthcare professionals to upskill. As an example, nurses will generally remain in a profession throughout their career since they are dependent upon the income and cannot leave to go back to college. But apprenticeship provides approximately 45% of a marketable wage with wage progression while obtaining classroom training and education and on the job training. And since nearly all of the healthcare systems have agreed to common standards for apprenticeship programs, there will be more opportunities for students and job seekers interested in the field. When is another solution, in other words, a model involving community colleges and Michigan Works agencies working collaboratively to support unemployed and underemployed with funding and resources. While Michigan Works agencies provide job seeker recruitment, case management, supportive services, braided funding, and connection to college education and training programs, community colleges will deliver, update, and collaborate with Michigan Works on enrollment and completion of status of short-term certification training, pre-apprenticeship, and apprenticeship programs. Last year alone, when community colleges and Michigan Works agencies provided this level of support to nearly 12,000 individuals. Assuming the average wage is $60,500, the economic impact of 12,000 individuals obtaining credentials that lead to employment is 726 million. Advancing incumbent workers and creating a talent pipeline for the high demand occupations is addressed by both apprenticeship programs and regional training initiatives that are delivered in a collaborative approach through colleges and universities and private training providers and Michigan Works agency partners, depending on where those programs exist. Michigan Works agency partners will work directly with private providers, colleges, and universities to ensure employer needs are met. Since 2015, the U.S. Department of Labor awarded Wynn several federal grants, the American Apprenticeship Initiative, known as AAI, Closing the Skills Gap, and Apprenticeship Building America, to develop the regional Advanced Michigan Center for Apprenticeship Innovation, AMCI Hub, for Southeast Michigan, which is located at MI for Michigan, apprenticeship.org. So miapprenticeship.org, and includes the apprenticeship process guide and apprenticeship return on investment calculator for 52 high demand occupations, which have been cited as best practices and duplicated by other states across the country. In 2018, WIN became a registered U.S. Department of Labor intermediary on behalf of employers for registered apprenticeship programs. Since registered apprenticeship is earn while you learn model, it can overcome workforce barriers for disadvantaged populations and combines on the job learning, classroom learning, and mentorship to train individuals to become experts in a chosen career and obtain a nationally recognized credential. The Semco Win intermediary currently manages standards for 49 employers across nearly 50 occupations. Semco Win can develop and manage standards for employers throughout Southeast Michigan. It is already funded through the ABA grant, which expires June 2026. And since it has taken 10 years to build the apprenticeship hub, WIN is seeking new grant funding to sustain and advance apprenticeship throughout the region.
There are so many resources from Wing to support and help you. So hopefully that through this podcast, we have more people and organizations that could really benefit from what's available out there already. I love that Wayne has promoted apprenticeship programs with healthcare system. That is one of the largest industry in Michigan. It's crucial to align education with the industry needs. I'm amazed by the Wing model, the employer-led collaboratives and regional training initiatives that help organizations to overcome the challenges. Now, I wonder if Michigan workers have the similar support as well. So that goes to my next question. What resources are available for employees, particularly the Southeast Michigan workers, to respond to and be ready for the obstacles created by the challenges?
Yeah, and thank you for recognizing the WIN Collaborative. There have been many states across the country, like Illinois, that has commented they wish they had a WIN Collaborative in their state. It's a powerful network, and the WIN website, winintelligence.org, we have labor market data, career profiles, the Michigan Workforce Career and Resource Guide available. And these resources assist students and job seekers with the necessary information to begin career exploration and navigation. It is important to understand employer hiring demand prior to devoting time and resources to obtain a credential. For example, it would logically make more sense to pursue a degree or short-term credential program that has 1,000 job postings rather than a program that has less than 10. So the next step is to contact your local Michigan Works agency and work directly with this established system. This holds true for both employers and job seekers. When grant funding for regional training initiatives flows through Michigan Works agency partners to optimize the effectiveness of meeting both employer and job seeker needs.
Thank you. It's great to know that we have all these resources and data available for everyone to explore and navigate, not just for student job seekers, but also for school personnel and academic researcher. So the workforce is experiencing its most rapid and significant transformation since the industrial era, as AI and automation have become mainstream and fundamentally changed business operation and the work. So to prepare for the unexpected, what recommendation would you give to organizational leaders and human resource development professionals who support and facilitate workforce training and development?
My recommendation is to be proactive by actively participating in employer-led collaboratives and partnering with the local Michigan Works agency. Employer-led collaboratives are open to anyone interested in participating, and you can easily become added to the email distribution group for meeting invitations, minutes, and updates. The MAGMA Governing Board also holds virtual quarterly advisory council meetings with exceptional speakers on important topics for the manufacturing sector, which are open to the public. There are so many resources available, but the programs and funding that we obtain are not possible without employers. So, WIN is constantly developing new regional grant applications, which require letters of support from employers and stakeholder partners. And we all need to work collaboratively on a regular basis to bring more funding to the region and to advance our common goals and objectives.
So organizations and workers do not have to face the current challenges or that just mentioned earlier alone by themselves. Organizational leaders can engage in employer-led collaboratives and partner with the Michigan work agencies to leverage available resources and funding. Workers can utilize resources from WIN and Michigan Works agencies to navigate career and training opportunities. Regular collaboration is essential to address workforce challenges and enhance training initiatives. So to conclude, I think the key is to reach out and collaborate. Together we create. Thank you so much, Michelle, for being on the podcast. That's all for this episode on responding to current workforce challenges. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us. We will catch you the next time.